pat yourself on the back there.
Arrow keys. Move and jump. And main menu. 25. Oh!
We must have put the volume down for the first 3 levels.
No.
I can do it from there. That's cool. So we will play this. So
I'm supposed to just be jumping on the place, right? No, it's good.
Yeah. Definitely finishing games is the hardest damn thing in the world.
Tricked me. The stone flew into heaven. No, the spike.
Björn and I have
tricked you.
Worked on many games, but finishing and actually releasing that, I would say, is the hardest thing. I've worked for actually really big companies where they spend millions of euros on actually a game, and it ends up not getting released. Stop sucking! You must be good at it.
Sorry, master.
So Curex is actually right. Just fall.
So this is Mukluk's. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I'm just sucking. I'm trying to hit. No! If you hit that edge, you instantly die. So.
No. Listen, we don't review games that way. Check it out. Listen.
We don't do game reviews.
No, we're not doing game reviews.
As you can see.
Yeah, we're not. We don't do game reviews that way. We actually play games and look at it from a game designer's perspective. So we'll give you design feedback if you want it. If not, we'll just play your game and just enjoy it for what it is. So don't feel like we're going to say, it's 2 thumbs down and don't play it or anything like that.
Almost every time we play, people have asked, what would you make better? And most of the time we don't know because, it's not, it's it's not what we do. Like, we do make games better, but it's like too short of a notice. It's because usually the games are not bad.
Yeah, well, we kind of even that we give critical feedback, but it's up to you from a designer's perspective. Normally what happens with reviews, even critiques, is that we're giving it to you like, hey, this is our profession, these are things we do, and you can do what you want with this information. You don't have to, you can do, completely.
I don't trust this bridge.
Yeah, good luck, Habibi. Good luck.
Oh, he fell asleep. Good, I can go sleep.
Yes. Hey, your time is going.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. So, what I've looked at thus far is, you of course know more because you
never seen it in my life. I don't know who you are.
You can press. So the player mechanics. What are the mechanics you can do? You can move left, right, downwards doesn't do anything. Maybe when you're jumping. Nope, I don't see any difference. And then upwards is jump. And then I think you could restart and then go to main menu. So that's the only thing I can do in this game. Everything else is a system mechanic as far as I've seen this far. So it's reacting on the player mechanics.
Yeah.
So the player mechanics happens between my brain, this, and me pressing something, and then something happening here. And this rest are like interesting system mechanics. So thus far I've noticed this arrow or whatever shooting up, spike shooting into me when I'm close, like it seems to be some kind of a collider or something you run into and then it ignites it. I'm very sure that this bridge is gonna collapse because it looks too auspicious.
You've played too many games.
Yes.
That's your problem.
6. I don't trust it. I'm not going. I'm going back. I'm gonna go back all the way to the beginning. Maybe there's some food.
You can't do it, Habibi?
That's another system mechanic that I can't go back. I can just yo-yo around. And then there's deaths is one resource, I guess, in a way, but it's like a stat. And then you have a time how long it takes. And I can't pick these flowers or eat them. I would like that. That would be cool. I want to eat the flowers.
You get high.
Yeah.
But Zed.
Oh crap! It restarted the level actually when I went back.
Oh, it did.
Yep.
Ah.
Actually, do I die when I go into that? Yeah, I do. Okay.
Interesting.
Do I get more deaths when I do that? No.
All right. See you in a moment.
See
Xerix. But Zed Bazuki, you share when you're ready to share.
Yeah,
Just don't wait too long. Don't worry about it. You can always polish. The key is for people. We are just going to get the basic mechanics, and we'll already fill in the blanks of what you're actually trying to do. So we're not judging you on the polish and working all the bugs out. Even though it's buggy as hell, we'll still be able to get the basic idea. And that's what's important. So show it when it's buggy.
And I want to add one thing to that is that we can also request us to get feedback on a certain thing, saying, hey, ignore about the online stuff, multiplayer something. Just look at this thing. I'm having trouble with this. And then we can play the game and see if we can kind of look at what we would do, or give kind of, at least inspiring tips of different direction you could choose. And then you do the choice of where you want to go.
Hey, check it out.
Okay.
Listen.
I have to take the step.
Oh, you made it. Zed Bazuki, check it out. I did some...
I don't trust this thing.
I did some tests on
Oh, fuck. Holy mother.
I did some tests on a game called Outland. It was released by what's the Housemarque. There's a company called Housemarque in Finland, and they make Super Stardust HD, Outland, these type of games, kind of twin stick shooter games, and when I went in for testing, they had a map, and on the map they just had like, how can I say, squiggles, and that was it. And they're like, yeah, just that'll be where the map is. So if it has programmer graphics, as we call it, or just white boxes.
Well, Thursdays I do my thing. I'm not an artist. I have some experience, but I mean, I'm just doing this with the pencil. Be like, this is Ninja. And you can look at that how I do with the art, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, but you were saying something else probably. I was just...
let's see. Massacre saying, do you think the mechanic in Mario of eating the mushrooms and getting a higher perception is subliminally intentional? I think Japanese people have crazy innuendos that they hide in their stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if a magic mushroom has those effects. I want to know what a star represents. What would that be? LSD?
Can get there.
Let's see here.
Everyone's got something going on.
Mukluk Kiwi, you can now unmute the game. Is it this?
No, that's just for us. This is the game. Holy, I hope you're not going down.
Now this is his music that his brother or cousin, your brother.
Quesadilla, yes, those are awesome. So we're playing
Quesadillas. Yes.
Mukluk's game. This is not our game. We're not taking any credit. So it's a platformer. Thus far, the player mechanics been moving left, right, drop, and jumping and dying. And well, that's system mechanic. The system mechanic has been shooting things. Basically, this is the same thing. These fireballs is just on a different loop than the spikes, but it's a system. And then now we have kind of fireballs. This actually reminds me a lot about Mario Maker, because you will have this kind of trolley kind of things in Mario Maker where they can actually make invisible blocks and you hit them and then you die and you don't know about it. You think it's like la 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 la, and then you and then Mukula's brother made the music. So
yeah. And this was done before Mario Maker, so you're ahead of him.
Yeah. I'm not saying they took anything from it.
No. And Zed Bazuki, I need 3 backgrounds. But you don't need those right now. You can just draw a smiley face and say, yay, you win the smiley face.
This is the hardest part.
Remember, show as fast as possible to people so you get a basic idea.
Figure it out.
So you can get feedback. Get your feedback as quick and early as possible.
Not there at all. Have to get through this part without.
Yeah, and Japanese have some crazy. They have some awesome games too. So I really think that because they think in a totally different way, that's why they can come up with these really insane things.
Yeah. Have that now.
Yeah, Massacre is saying, I appreciate games like this. You can see the gameplay clear as day. strip away all the graphic glory of a lot of newer games, and a lot of times without all the eye candy, you realize that there are a lot of people being fooled into playing games that don't really have much gameplay built into it, just mostly a visual feast. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that I tell a lot of people. Don't get caught up in what it looks like, just play the game. And if you keep playing the game and you're caught up playing it, like for example in this game here, you could replace everything with whatever you like. You know, that can be a monkey, that can be a, you know...
Monkey, that you can't replace.
Yeah,
with.
no,
I'm sorry, that would be
a
unethical.
Yeah, but it's not, at the end of the day, not the graphics, it's what the gameplay is.
It's a challenge. I'm trying to think now what I would need to do to get through the challenge.
Okay.
Like, except throwing myself at things.
Okay, cool. Hey, Zed Bazuki also posted that thing. We'll check that out after Björn finally gives up from sucking. Let's see if he can at least get past this level. Can you make it, Habibi? Yes.
The thing is, let's see where it breaks first. So it breaks there when I go over that line. This is where I'm safe.
Exactly. I agree. Well, that's the thing. If you're playing a game, what was the name of the game? What was that one that we played with the fencing?
Oh, I don't remember that name. I know the game, but it's something. Oh, what did happen?
There was this game. It was made in Game Maker. Oh, it's the guys fencing in Game Maker. Do you guys remember that? It was like 5 to 8 years. It was just the AI the guy created. It was really good. But that game is just little pixel graphics, simple little characters, but we played it for hours and hours. And there's also another game called Sports Friends or Sports and Friends. It's the same idea. Like, it's not the visuals, it's the game. And then, you know, if you want to up this, you can. Then you can hire an artist if you're not an artist and make the, you know, graphics the most beautiful thing. And then what happens, remember it this way, gameplay is the foundation of everything. And then the visuals are kind of the cream on top, the polish. It's, you know, the 80%, the 90% are just the game. And then that last 10% is that getting everything. Of course, that's, oh, damn it, you almost made it. Almost.
It's a timing thing.
The rest is all just polish that you can, you will work through. Of course, in bigger games, you know, you're not waiting for art till the last minute, of course. But I've grown up with games. I mean, I've been playing games, I would say, the majority of my life. I'm going to be 40 soon, and I probably have been playing since I was 6 or 7 years old. And I've seen a lot of shitty games. Just some cubes on a screen.
Holy shit, what am I supposed to do? Oh, okay.
And some of them were amazing and fun. And now when I play these kind of, you know, amazing, realistic, you know, the eyelashes are rendered perfectly on the person. But then the game feels so hollow because the thing is, I know that it's more about a movie that I'm controlling versus you know, actually a game that I'm playing. So always remember that, like, worry about the foundation first, and then you'll get the visuals in. And same with the music. You'll get the music. Don't wait, of course, till the last minute either. You should try to incorporate those, you know, as soon as you can. But, oh, here it is, Bjorn. Can you do it? What's up, Corgi the Lesser Dog? Welcome back. I look at this way. A platinum-plated is a turd. It doesn't matter how pretty it is. The basics aren't there. Yeah, that's true. Always remember. What's up, Chia Chia? So again, the gameplay is the foundation. Everything else, you'll get it. Don't worry. I promise you, if you make a game that people just keep playing over and over and over and over and they don't want to give up, that's the right way to do it. And then you can go back and then you can fix the graphics. So, you know. And back to
Okay.
Raps is saying, in Divinity, you can actually kill every NPC of the game. You played a Divinity Original Sin.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of in RPG games you can do that. Actually,
Yeah.
Fallout and all these kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not the new Fallouts, but other ones.
And that adds some variety. I think that's actually kind of cool.
Not fast enough.
Massacre 3. Yeah, Massacre, of course. I'm going to just keep calling everybody by their short name. So Massacre, that's exactly why I'm creating all the shapes that I'm putting into my environments to be 100% geared towards gameplay only. And of course, making sure it still looks interesting and cool, but only using brushes. With an unrealistic style, you don't need to restrict yourself to mimicking things you would see in real life. You know, one thing that reminds me of, that's an excellent thing, is that's why Björn and I actually like pixel graphics, is because actually a lot less is actually more, and the imagination is a lot cooler than realism. So there's a discussion, I'm sure you've all heard it already, about the
Oh, that was cool animation.
what is the valley? Help me.
Uncanny Valley.
Ah, thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue. When you're looking at the Uncanny Valley, where things on one side of it look cute, you know, and cartoony, and then stuff on the other side look like super realistic. And then as closer you get to the cute side, it's okay. The closer you get to the realistic side, it's real. But then there's this big dip in the middle. That's the valley. And things in there, if they're kind of trying to be real, they look fake and plasticky. And if they're trying to look cute, they actually end up looking really creepy. So it's along the same principle. If you use pixel graphics, we already know you're on this, you know, the cute side, or the one side. It doesn't have to be cute, but one side of this uncanny. You don't have to worry about people getting caught up in realism. People will accept that, okay, all the characters in this world are made out of, you know, 16 pixels, and that's it. So, you know, they accept that, and then they just enjoy your game. But as soon as you want to make, like, you know, Uncharted 4, whatever, let's try to find the most realistic game that you can think of, whatever. Then what happens is people are like, oh yeah, that's real. Oh, he moved the wrong way. That wasn't realistic. Oh, the motion capture in his face was wrong. Like, people get caught up in the visuals. So that's that's something you should remember. So especially if you're indie dev or you're a small company, think about those visuals when you're working on something. Try not to get so caught up because it's in the reality, because when you get caught up in reality, that's when your life gets much more difficult.
Simple way of saying it also is, I probably covered this already, but basically is that it's hard, it's easy to make good visuals, it's hard to make good gameplay. So focus on gameplay first, get that fixed, worry about the visuals once you have that.
Exactly.
And usually when you don't care that much about visuals, you're just drawing something, you will have much more creative game.
Yeah. Just white box stuff until you say, like, okay, now we got to put a little bit more art in so we get a basic idea, but don't kill yourself all at the beginning.
It's been a timing thing.
Yeah, Massacre Zed Bazuki says his next game will be pixel art style. That's cool. Yeah, we really like pixel art style.
That's also the reason we use Game Maker now, is because I can create a lot of the art just like off the bat. The first kind of, you know, getting like, you know, something just there. Like if I want a character like this, I can just draw it in the game engine. I don't have to exit it. You save like a couple of minutes, but that keeps keeping the motivation high, because I actually can do like 2-3 frame animations really fast, and it'll represent closer to what, you know, it would be in the final game.
Yeah, definitely, Zed, the mechanics, I would say, again, at least as a designer, it's the most important above everything else.
Crap, I'm gonna die.
If it just looks amazing but you can't do anything, you might as well go watch a movie, you know?
Oh, that was too late. I died.
Yeah, that's right. People once, you know, and Massacre and Corgi, they're both saying, I mean, the principle behind it is that anytime you play a game, that first moment that you play the game, you're trying to figure out how the game works and what it looks like, and then you, as being a player of a game, you accept the rules and limitations and environment of that world.
So let's say, like, if you look at good, not games, just good stories, good environments. If you look at Star Wars, you look at Star Trek. It's so well planned out. It's so consistent in most of the time that even people can create this fictional world where they can argue what is real or what is not real in this world. Like, that wouldn't happen in Star Wars universe. You're picking my nose? What are you doing? You're pooping. Anyway, so like, it's so realistic, so consistent, and that's the thing. Like this game, for example, they did a good job of keeping it consistent, and it's very quirky and funny. I like the character. When you don't move very fast and he falls asleep, it creates character, and his eyes moves to the direction I'm moving, and it has kind of like this. So it's consistent and it's easier to accept, like John was saying.
And I do like that he uses the kind of little mechanics, like he introduces the spike and he tries to use it in different ways. It reminds me of we were talking about the other week, the Super Meat Boy. Like anytime you create some type of element in your game, try to think you should have 3 to 5?
Well, they were saying that they try to find at least 5 different ways of using the same mechanic. So replayability in a way.
So the shooting spike, the spike you die, and the shooting spike you die from it. Actually, that's two right there, because there's a spike when you get hit by it, you die, and that can get placed in different places. And then there's the shooting spike that comes out of it, which is using it in a different way. So that's at least 2. Imagine if you had to come up with 3 different ways. I think he might have had a 3rd way too. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, I don't know.
But you get the basic idea. You use it in different situations. For example, I think in Super Meat Boy they had the saws and they tried to use them in different ways.
Yeah, they do a lot of ways in Super Meat Boy. It gets more complicated in the end level.
Yeah, Zad is saying that he uses Unity 3D. We were using Unity before, then we changed over to GameMaker just because we were trying to do 2D and just trying to quickly be able to throw things together. And Unity was supposed to come out with some 2D stuff. They've just held it back, so we decided to move over to GameMaker at least for now.
So this game is really hard, and I think it's on purpose really hard, which is good. And that will this will definitely collect kind of like I'm talking about the game I'm playing. This will definitely collect a user base of people who like kind of super hard games and puzzles and platforms and reaction timing. But then if, let's say this game was some other game, and I don't suggest this, but don't do this. Don't change it this way. But if this was another game where the core of the game was somewhere else, not in solving puzzles as much, then having cues when stuff's gonna happen is very important, so that the player has time to react. Here it's kind of like you do have to figure out, and the frustration is part of the game, and that's why it's acceptable also by the player. If this was like, some things are easy and and then some isn't, then it's confusing. So it's consistent on the thing that I wouldn't be surprised when I open that door if that fence there that's in front of it is gonna stab me in the guts, and, it hasn't thus far because even the fence here, but I mean, it's at least consistent, and that's the thing that's very important. And this is a good game for me.
Zed, anytime you create something, we'd like to see it. So even if it's a design and you want to share it, just share. Massacre is saying, I'm curious what percentage of people you think are willing to devote a much longer period of time learning and feeling out a game with tons of content.
It's hard.
Yeah, Massacre, that's a really hard question because it depends on the player and what are their kind of motivations for playing the game in the first place. Yeah, and how good the game is that it sucks you in. If the game doesn't suck you in, people might give up very quickly and be like, oh my god. With some of these bigger open world games, they have a problem because of the way kind of society and the industry has been, is they're like, 120 hours of gameplay or whatever. So they end up padding the game that something might be an amazing experience, but they have to keep padding it, and it wears the people down, especially if they've played those type of games before, because they're saying, oh man, this is like that, I'm just going this. They're gonna feel the grind, and it'll feel very grindy, and unless the game's really good, they're just gonna stop playing. It reminded me of the BBC Sherlock series, if you guys have ever watched that. They asked the director, like, hey, why don't you make more? They only make 3 Sherlock episodes a year? Or skip a year or something, like 3, let's say 3 episodes a year, and they could do so much more. And Benedict Cumberbatch is like an amazing actor. I'd love to see more of him.
I think it's Batch, but
sorry, Cumberbatch. Benedict.
Mr. Benedict.
Mr. Benedict, however you pronounce his last name. Sorry. That if you're watching, that'd be awesome if he was watching. Anyway,
jump! Was that a bug?
I don't know.
It was a bug. It couldn't jump.
Okay, well, see you again if you can.
Basically, I was pressing it. You can hear it from my.
Yeah, I heard the click. We got it on evidence.
But it might be also on purpose. But I basically was stuck on the wire. There might be some kind of collider there.
Yeah, Mukluk, you might have to check that out. But
except if it's on purpose, then it's fine. Then. But I was pressing the keyboard for sure, because I even had time to jump twice then.
Yeah. But basically they asked, why don't you make more episodes? And he's like, well, I could do it kind of the American way and just make tons of episodes, and they would all be crappy and not really good. Or I could spend all that time, resources, and energy making 3 amazing episodes. They're about a couple hours long, and you know, you're wanting more, and I really enjoyed them because they spent all of their, making their time, energy, and power and effort into making this something super polished experience.
It takes that time to make them.
Yeah, and what happens is, for example, there was an interesting thing that was happening with this game called Firewatch. I haven't played it for a while, but I was paying, just keeping an eye on it, and visually it looked awesome. And people were like, this one guy posted this thing like, I love your game, it's amazing, I played it, it's like 2.5 hours long, but I don't know if I should submit it, like get my money back from Steam. And then the developer wrote like, yeah, I can understand if you don't have any money, you can do what you think is right. We did our best to just give you the best experience we could, and that's within the, that's what we were going for. And what happens is that this mentality of bigger, better, it's like an American thing, in my opinion, that I'm used to, that there has to just be more content and more things, and it has to have multiplayer, it has to have these things, that it's like, if it doesn't, then we think like, oh, it's not good value for my money. But it's so amazing when you think about games versus movies, because movies you'll pay what, $18, $15, we pay what, 15 to 18 euros to go see a movie. Let's say that's about $20. But we can't, we spend even that on a game, and we expect 120 hours from it, and we can interact with the damn thing. Do you see how that's kind of you're not treating games the same way as anything else. Games are actually much cooler, in my opinion, than movies, because you can interact with them, you can create your own worlds, your own adventures, your own stories. But what's happening in a movie, you just sit there and you just watch it, and no matter what you do, it stays the same. So kind of, it's a very weird thing.
But I would say that I actually wouldn't look at those terms. That's kind of like, I think that's kind of a naive thing of thinking. You shouldn't think that, for example, it's easy to say like, oh, like what I'm doing in my games, like before you punch, you have something that's warning me that this electricity is going on. But that wouldn't be consistent with the game. That I wouldn't do that, because that's not this game. So never have general purpose rules. You should think about who is this game for and what are they enjoying. If it's for people who want hardcore puzzles, you shouldn't do mid-core puzzles for whatever.
Can you make this smaller so that some of the text, I wanted to see what Corgi was talking about. Yeah. Corgi...
what I was saying is just that you should think about your audience and what they will be enjoying, what are the players and what are they expecting, and you shouldn't send them confusing messages. Don't fix things in the wrong way. Like, you can easily say like, oh, most games have this, and that's how it's just done. But then you might be able to build a game where it's counterintuitive to what you're building. So if you're, you know, some things work differently. Like, it's more about not about how much value, how much everything. It's more about kind of, or like when you're giving and looking at a game, it's not about what everybody else is doing. It's about what you are doing. What's the intention of this? I don't know how to explain it, but like it's.
I think that's.
Yeah, but there's, you can probably pick up. I'll continue playing still some while and see if we can beat this game. We can bug it out maybe.
Corgi is saying.
Let's see if I can bug it out.
Well, he likes the game. Actually, one thing's very interesting. I think the cool thing about this is the learning and the consistency. He hasn't broken the consistency yet, which is good because you learn it and you feel comfortable because you have understood something. Like Björn said earlier, if suddenly the fence killed Björn, then he would, you know, press H to submit.
Oh crap! It went to the
Bring
page.
it over here. Yeah, it's you can.
Oh, I know what it's doing.
You want to put it on there so you.
And I made it in 03.
You should show that on
My
the
name
screen.
is.
The winner.
Oh, sorry, no, yeah, I should show this on the screen. Sorry, one moment. Yes, I'm the best player. My name is GameDevCompany. We're gonna be. Why did it say Nick Theory then?
That's Putter's name.
Oh, there we go. Oh, damn it, I couldn't fool them. Anyway.